more. So yeah, that transferred 5 a.m. to 10 a.m. from Piston Log Prison, prison to Klong Kram Prison in Bangkok. The move was the move to the Bangkok prison completed the transfer request made on Wednesday to facilitate the investigation, which has been transferred to the CSD, taking it out of the hands of police in Nakhon Sawan, where the crime occurred. Corrections Department had planned to detain them at Bangkok Remand Prison, but an outbreak of COVID-19 there led them to being sent to Klong Kram. So yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good. He's just 39, really. And subordinates in the drug busting team are accused of the murder of a drug suspect. He and his wife, the drug suspect, and his wife were arrested by the team on August 4th, and his head was covered with 6 plastic bags during interrogation by this guy and his men. He was declared dead of suffocation at the hospital. So yeah, that's crazy. Let's watch a bit of this video. Okay, so that's the first news of the day. I think that's good news if they are being properly investigated. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it's gonna, go pretty decent. Yeah, I want to talk to Rob about this one. Let's go to Malaysia. So Malaysia uses Phuket sandbox to reopen Langkawi. I don't understand that. Let's see what they have to say. Langkawi will open to locals under a travel bubble plan from September 16. Prime Minister said in a statement yesterday. Other destinations will be allowed to operate when the locality's vaccination rate hits 80%. Yeah, that's smart. Malaysia is preparing for life with COVID even as daily cases remain elevated. Not smart. Mirroring Thailand's tourism reopening plan based on a pilot project in the popular resort island of Phuket. The COVID-19 will be treated as an endemic, and it is time for Malaysians to learn to live with the virus. Yeah, get everybody vaccinated, and you can live with the virus, but at least get yourself vaccinated first. New infections have soared despite the containment measures, hitting a record 24,600 in a single day, last month, and turning the country into South Asia's COVID hotspot. The nation added almost 21,000 cases on yesterday, and the virus's effective reproduction rate has fallen below 1 nationwide. More than 84% of the adult population has received at least 1 dose. 64% have been fully inoculated. That's a really good number. So Thailand has about 11%. Now, it's not confirmed if this is the actual, number, but certain sources are obviously different. But yeah, we are only 11% fully vaccinated. I'm not sure what the number is for single dose vaccinations. Eventually, we have to live with COVID, as is the case around the world. Meanwhile, state will move into the second phase, into the third stage of the National Recovery Plan. Decision was made by the National Security Council, which will now be renamed as the Special Committee on Pandemic Management. That's a long-term commitment, isn't it? The committee will include representatives from opposition parties as well. Cool. So different political parties are coming together. That's actually pretty sweet to hear. Let's see, how that works out. Well, any hue. So so Richard Barrow is this person who lives somewhere, and he has been representing Thailand for since '98. So he was a teacher. I think he's still a teacher, but I don't know how he can be still a teacher when he's constantly updating this stuff. Um, so yeah, his most recent one. Let's just refresh this because there might be more recent news from 1 hour ago. So he said constant. Look, 4 hours, 1 hour. What else? 6 hour ago. 6 hours ago. 8 hours ago. 8 hours ago. 11 hours ago. So this guy is like definitely doing this completely full time at this point, I think. But yeah, let's check out some news. Important. It has now been confirmed that Samut Prakan Immigration will move their temporary offices in a nearby market in Bangkli on Monday. Bangkli. It was originally announced to move this coming Monday, but it is delayed now for 2 weeks. Okay, so yeah, 20th September, not now anymore. Sounds better than moving. Okay, so this is interesting. The Japanese embassy is interesting because of the comments. So I'll talk about the comments. I'll talk about the comments later. After this, like the Japanese embassy in Thailand has confirmed that the Japanese government will donate 300,000 doses of AstraZeneca that will be delivered to Thailand on 8 September. This will bring the total number of donated doses to 1.35 million. Let's read this. On September 3rd, the government of Japan decided to donate blah blah vaccine blah blah done. The total volume, yeah, done. Japan will be supporting Thailand, which has been facing the COVID-19 crisis by the donation of vaccines, as well as provision of 775 oxygen concentrators for COVID-19 patients, provision of cold chain equipment needed for vaccine transportation and storage, and support for strengthening diagnosis systems and developing drug treatments. As a strategic market partner to Thailand, Japan will continue to extend support for the efforts of the people and government of Thailand to contain the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, as usual, they did specifically mention strategic partner, and that's where the situation is at between the two countries. So they're, totally happy to help each other out. I still don't understand why Thailand has enough money to buy tanks and submarines, but for vaccines they have to accept charity from other countries. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not reading comments that hate on the government. I don't have time to go to court cases for that shit. Thailand manufactures the vaccine, and then seemingly sells it to Japan, who then donate it back to Thailand for free. Figure it out. Why can't Thailand get more Pfizer and Moderna? The EU don't use AstraZeneca anymore. Must be a reason. Get rid of the Sinovac. It's useless. Astra is actually the most effective over time. Europe won't use Astra because of politics. We don't know that yet, as it's only in use. Less than a year. Whichever Sinovac is okay. So you think Sinovac is the least effective? No, we don't use AstraZeneca because it's dangerous. As simple as that. High rise of strokes. Also stop using Janssen vaccine. Blah blah. So yeah. So there's that. Thank you, Japan, I guess. This is interesting for people in Bangkok. Not interesting, it's important for people in Bangkok. Public buses, taxis, and motorcycle taxis are now allowed to be in service until 10 p.m. in the dark red zone. This followed photos seen last night of employees cramming on the last buses to get home after malls closed at 8 p.m. never understood these curfews. What do they achieve? Um, this guy is not smart. In accordance with recommendations from the Centers for Disease Control, blah blah, passengers are prohibited from wearing masks with ventilation walls from today onwards. Okay, so the fancy ones apparently are not allowed anymore. This was shared by airports of Thailand by the AOT on their Facebook page, but I haven't seen an announcement by CAAT making this compulsory for all airlines. Only Air Asia so far. So there are people like updating on the reg here. Let's see what they have to say. I guess U.S. airlines have banned these too. As far as I know, it has been for a while, at least on international flights. Some of that type tend to have a pre-directed, unfiltered flow out, so it helps the user and their glasses, but are bad for others. And yes, other airlines have done this for international traveling, no air vent. Delta Airlines also does not allow these types of masks. For those of you who don't know, Delta Airlines is in the US. Alcohol is not a crime. Illicit drug sales are at an all-time high. Apparently, Mark Jones is just venting out randomly wherever he can, I guess. Alcohol is not a crime yet. Not at the moment. Maybe it should be. I don't know. And the reason I'm saying that, I have an issue against alcohol, but there are a lot of alcohol-related road accidents, especially with drugs, not so much. Well, some drugs not so much, but with alcohol, it's always been a pretty heavy dosage of destruction and death on the roads of Thailand and elsewhere. So yeah, that is Mr. Richard Barrow. Let's go on to NNT. If we take a look at what's happening, NNT has gone to, I mean, they're a good news agency, but they've been writing like, who's going to read this text? Not me. Please. Thailand via Farm will begin first human trials of COVID-19 vaccine this month. Cool. Charming Chiang Mai, kind of like amazing Thailand, kind of like Phuket Sandbox, some mottos or whatever. On October 1st, they're opening up in an effort to bring tourists back to the north. Said the scheme is over 90% ready to start and is waiting for the tourist approval. Charming Chiang Mai will have tourists visiting under specific conditions, like Phuket Sandbox and other schemes to boost tourism. He said tourists will be offered several options under the scheme, like spending only 5 days in Chiang Mai before flying back home, or dividing their first 14 days between Chiang Mai and Phuket before being able to travel outside elsewhere in Thailand. He said travelers are going for the 5-day option. Who are going for the 5-day option will be required to stay in specific hotels and visit golf clubs. What if you're not a golfer? However, if they choose to spend 14 days in Chiang Mai or divide the period between the north and Phuket in the south, they will be able to travel around Thailand once the period is complete and they test negative for COVID-19. I don't understand how desperate do you have to be a tourist in this situation. We have talked here before about how certain tourists are stuck and they don't know what the hell to do, and they messed up and they are losing money and they're still complaining and they're not going back. I have a feeling we're gonna have a whole bunch of buskers, which, by the way, is a huge problem, has been a huge problem in Bangkok in the past. Buskers are basically people, or rather like tourists who don't have money, so they start asking people for money on the streets of Bangkok, or they take photos, print them, and try to sell them. Now, I don't know why you would buy a photo of Bangkok if you live in Bangkok, but in their defense, uh, they do cover more than just this city, like Bangkok, because they're traveling, so it's photos of their travels, like 50 baht, 100 baht, 300 baht, something like that. It became a huge deal before COVID, and then the cops rained down on him, and there were a lot of people complaining, because here's the thing, expats like myself, or immigrants, whatever, like myself, we have to work really hard to get a work permit, to get a non-B visa, so we can work here. There's a certain amount of money you have to be making, and there's a lot of requirements for these things. And when people like that, like buskers, when they started just coming in and just sitting there without permits, without anything, and they were being allowed to stay, people like us, people like me, were really pissed off about it. I'm still pissed off about it. I don't give a shit. I don't understand why they were allowed in the first place, but I think people just thought, oh, just let them be, because a lot of Thai people are very sweet to the needy and stuff, but it started messing with the system in Bangkok. They were lined up on bridges, walkway bridges and stuff like that. It became a nuisance at the end of the day, and there were interviews as well of people on social media, on Phuket News, Bangkok Post, NBT, a whole bunch, NNT, a whole bunch of places. So I'm glad that happened finished. But coming back to this story, I have a feeling that if you have to be really, you have to definitely have a lot of money to be able to stay in for Chiang Mai for 14 days and then go somewhere like the rest of Thailand. But I guess if you've been good with your money over the pandemic, if you haven't lost if you were lucky enough to not lose your job and shit, you probably ended up saving a lot. So there's that. Anywho, so yeah, that's it for this is the one I actually wanted to talk about the most as well. Thailand's Public Health Ministry is preparing to reopen the country to visitors from abroad on October 1st. So the whole 120-day thing by Prime Minister Prayut is still ongoing. That promise is supposed to be carried out. Although yesterday there was a piece of news that we covered that the Prime Minister kind of backtracked a little. First he was saying, we're gonna open on October 1st no matter what. Like, no matter what happens, we're gonna do this. But now, like yesterday during a meeting, he said that he is still adamant that he wants it to go on, except, and then that's walking backwards, he said that if it is too dangerous for people, then I might not do anything. So there's that for sure. Now let's see what happens. Robert is late. He is late, by the way. Not a good look for you, Rob. Let me just check. I don't know, man. Anyways, so this piece of news, starting with Bangkok, Chonburi, which is Pattaya, Hua Hin, and Chiang Mai. So let's see if the promise still remains and things are still good. I'm out of breath. Yeah. Other tourism areas set to reopen under bubble and seal measures in October are Chiang Han, Trat, Ko Chang, Rayong, and Nong Khai provinces. So there's that. The board also proposed measures to speed up the development of Thailand's 4 homegrown COVID-19 vaccines. There are Chulalongkorn's Chulacov-19. Wow. Come on, man. Just name it something else. Why do you have to have your name? Come on. You're not that vain, are you, Chulalongkorn? So Chulalongkorn is one of like the bigger universities in Thailand. It is a joke, and people of Chulalongkorn graduates don't bash me on this, but I've heard the Chulalongkorn students, nobody asks them where they're from, like where they study. They just like to tell people a lot, which is kind of funny. And again, that's what I'm saying. It's kind of vain, right? Because they just named the entire vaccine for themselves. They just made it about themselves. The board will ask the cabinet to boost the vaccine development budget and allow Thailand's Food and Drug Administration to cut the registration period for Thai-made vaccines. Yeah, you can do that, but let's see. So reopening, somebody's asked, with no quarantine, and this is where I lose interest in comment sections, because no quarantine is the only way to go. No, it's not. Yeah. So yeah, lots happening, man. Lots of fun stuff happening. I want to bring this to you all's notice tomorrow and on Sunday, since this. Before I mention this, Sustainable My Cow, we had Michelle here talking to us, and so the Thursday cleanup went very well. There are things on her Facebook page if you guys wanna take a look, like what they did. She's still doing a fine job. Please go and like and support their page if you can. They're always looking for volunteers. They're always looking for helpers. And now that she's actually registered the company, that's actually a really big step. And hopefully, things will start progressing much faster now for her. So yeah, like I mentioned before, that this channel, this NewsViews section of this channel, has people from Phuket coming in, have people from Thailand coming in, or different countries, whatever. But I also want to talk about things that are happening on the ground here in Phuket. We read news, we watch videos and stuff, documentaries. Those are all fun. But what I do want to mention, if you can see this on the screen, you can see it on the screen right now. You can join tomorrow and day after, like Saturday tomorrow and Sunday, for a day of fun on the water at Koh Long. This is Java yachting, by the way, and Cruiser Island. I've been there. Beautiful place, beautiful place, and it's just 15-20 minutes by way of a dinghy or a longtail boat from Chalong Pier or PYC, which is the Phuket Yacht Club. So shout out to those people for making the stuff happen. They meet a lot of good quality standards. They are SHA certified as well. And you can basically go for sailing. You can chill on the island. You can use kayaks or SUPs, or learn how to sail on their training dinghies. And this is a bit of artwork. So there are always people asking about what's happening. You can call them on these numbers. It's +66 64195 5140. These are really good quality toppers and kayaks. And this, I forgot the name of, I think it's the not Narcos, but it's a nakra, I think. So you can try. This is pretty fast, really really fast, very wonderful sailboat. So yeah, there's this is happening this weekend. If you guys are interested, hit them up, send them give them a call or send them a message on their Facebook page or on one of these many numbers. I'm sure they have somewhere here, apart from what I just said. Yeah, this is the number over here in text form if you want, or you can text it. There's John Coffin, there's Paul, there's Jay Blue, there's a whole bunch of people running the shit, and they're doing a fantastic job. So yeah, there's that. Yeah, check it out. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys went there, let me know how it was. Let's go into the bail jumping wife saga. This is news from 1 p.m. today. Bail jumping wife arrests for husband's murder 8 years ago. Damn. Arrest accused husband killer, 59. She doesn't look 59. At a fresh market in Patantani on Friday, she allegedly dumped her husband's body in the Chao Phraya River in 2013. Was he a foreigner? She had been arrested, detained her at a fresh market while shopping, I guess, or whatever. She allegedly told police she was driven to murder by her husband's quarrelsome nature and physical abuse. The woman was wanted on an arrest warrant issued by the Nonthaburi Provincial Court for murder, concealment of a body, and illegal possession of a gun. Police said the shooting occurred on March 12, 2019. She shot her husband, Tek Kaur, so not foreign, in the head. She then wrapped his body in plastic bags and concealed it under a blanket and bedsheet. She drove in a... That's a lot of she, man. She drove in a pickup truck to the Chao Phraya River and dumped the body in the water, according to the police charges. On March 15, they were informed a body had been found floating near a pier. Their investigation led to a court warrant being issued in 2017, 4 years ago. She later turned herself into the police after the case was taken to court. She fled while on bail. She was finally caught by officers on Friday. Wow. During questioning, she allegedly said she lived with her husband for about 22 years, and in later years he had been quarrelsome and often assaulted her. On the day of the shooting, they had quarreled again, and he again physically abused her. In anger, she took a gun kept in a cabinet and shot and killed him. She then disposed. She was informed of the charges against her and handed into the custody of Nanta. Yeah, she couldn't run anymore, could she? But that's crazy, though. I mean, obviously, abuse against women or men is something like really serious, right? That's a huge problem. But like doing all of this, like, okay, you shot somebody, right? Physically abused you, we get that, everybody gets that. But after that, wrapping his body in bags, concealing him and concealing the body, and then running away, dumping it in the river, third point, and then, you know, running away while on bail. All of that seems like maybe that wasn't the case, or she basically just took the situation too far. But hey, I'm not gonna defend a wife abuser. I'm just saying there might be much more to the story than this. I don't know. I think Rob dished this, man. So, anyways, Pops and torture. Yeah, that. Get rich on Twitch. This was a funny video. Okay, so we're finally moving away from, we're finally moving away from the news, right? Which is probably a good thing. This is just funny though. Check it out.
what was I talking about? Oh yeah, Indie Fox. I tuned into her stream. I saw that there was a fart sub goal. I left.
Twitch is mad buggin'.
Thank you so much for the 100 bits. I did leave because I support different fetishes, but it's just not the kind of fetish for me. But apparently she was making bank off selling farts on Twitch. So if anybody in the chat who was sitting there thinking like, oh man, there's no way that I could make money off Twitch. If you have a butthole, you can make money off Twitch.
There you go, you guys heard it first, man. If you have a butthole, you can make money on Twitch. So there's that. Now this is one thing that I actually wanted to watch yesterday, but I was too tired, and we covered a whole bunch of different news and a lot of videos were seen, so I decided to skip. But I was thinking about, watching this with you guys. It's 4 years old. It's Wavy Webster. Excellent documentary skills and speaking skills, but I have a feeling that he had not hit puberty when he made this video. I know that's a weird thing to say, but his voice is extremely heavy here. Extremely heavy. So I'm just saying that, it's not important, but it's just an observation. My neighbors are killing a bug or something. Okay. Let's watch this.
Since the dawn of the internet, there has always been a strong demand for video content, and in the early days, this content was scarce. It was possible to upload, watch, and share videos in the early days of the internet, but it wasn't easy. In fact, it was actually rather difficult. First, you have to realize that the internet has been commercially available since the 80s, and if you know anything about 80s and 90s internet, you know that at this time, snail's pace dial-up was the norm.
Oh
This was the
God,
primary
you remember that sound that we know.
entry hazard as far as the hindrance of video sharing in the early internet. It simply took way too much time to upload and download video files. I'm talking 20 minutes to load a 2-minute video in some cases. Another entry hazard being digital format cameras suitable for uploading videos were not as common as they are today. It sounds crazy, right? But really, in the 80s and 90s and even early 2000s, your average person was not filming videos with digital cameras unless they were an amateur filmmaker or a college student. It just wasn't common practice to video record everything as it is today. Now in the smartphone era, we record almost everything. And the final reason why videos were difficult to be shared in the early internet, there simply was not a well-designed video hosting platform like YouTube. Now don't misunderstand me here. There were video hosting websites that existed, just not as user-friendly as YouTube is. Once broadband internet became popular in the early to mid-2000s, so did the rise of more powerful camera-equipped cell phones. This meant now pretty much anyone with a cell phone had the ability to make a video and could save it to a SIM card, then upload the video onto the internet shortly after using their lightning-fast broadband internet. So this sounds great, right? But it gets even better, because a few keen entrepreneurs who were former PayPal employees saw this perfect storm brewing, and in the year 2005, they create YouTube. Now all these people with cell phones and broadband internet have a user-friendly website to upload their family vacation and pet videos. Nobody would have expected the massive success that YouTube has enjoyed. From humble beginnings, shaky, grainy cell phone recorded videos with no editing whatsoever, to studio quality productions with paid staff, directors, and writers. People literally making millions of dollars uploading videos to the site. The slogan, broadcast yourself, inspiring the average person that they too could become the stars they'd always dreamed of being. And as long as they had the talent, a camera, and the drive to make something truly special, they could do it. YouTube created an alternative route to the stardom, and more importantly, an alternative to television. We've seen many different eras of content creators, trends, styles, and drama throughout the years here on YouTube. And in this video, we're going to be taking a walk through over 10 years of YouTube community history and define time periods by attributes associated with them. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the evolutionary history of YouTube. Years 2005 through 2008, the viral era. This is the beginning, the proverbial Big Bang of YouTube. Welcome to the viral era. The viral era gets its name from the short viral videos which dominated in YouTube's early years. But before we get to defining what a viral video is, let's try to get an understanding of what YouTube videos generally look like in this infant stage of YouTube. This is the first video ever uploaded to YouTube, Me at the Zoo, uploaded by the user Jawed or Jawed. Note the graininess of the footage, terrible audio, and just complete absence of editing. This is the norm within the viral era. You may think that this video is unwatchable, but the first comment left on a YouTube video ever disagrees. Cobalt Groove finds this video interesting. Now, this video was actually uploaded by YouTube co-founder Jawed Kareem, perhaps uploaded as a test or a kickoff for the newly launched platform. There would be millions of videos like Me at the Zoo that would appear within the viral era. Mundane, dull, uninspired videos, often from a family vacation or just videos of pets playing with each other, or just undiscernible blurs. A lot of undiscernible blurs. Early YouTube was essentially a dumping ground for whatever footage.
Okay, just before we go ahead, I'd like to thank I would like to thank Wavy Surf for these amazing videos, and you know, please don't copyright strike me, man. Yeah.
You had lying around on an old SD card inside of your camera, or some footage you'd snapped with your flip camera phone while out with some friends. There was little to no refinement, no precedent set for what a good YouTube video should look like, and naturally, most of the content was garbage and rendered mostly unwatchable for a normal human being. However, despite the overwhelming amount of low-quality video content that was uploaded to the website at this time, there would be some videos that were so bizarre, so avant-garde, so watchable, that they would hit the viral lottery.
The entire section was only wired. Actually, most of it was only viral. That's crazy. This was really popular. This was extremely popular.
A viral video is defined as any clip of animation or film that is spread rapidly through online sharing. And these videos fought their way clawing tooth through the seemingly unending sea of low-quality videos which mired themselves on YouTube at that time. And they rose to the top, like cream rising to the top of fresh milk. These videos surfaced from the chamber pot of shit and piss that was YouTube videos in this 2005 through 2008 time period. And they emerged from this chamber pot basked in all the glory that they so rightfully earned. These videos would spread like wildfire, finding themselves shared on internet message boards and early social media websites, emails, and wherever else people could share them. This is where you get the whole viral video concept from. Get it? They spread like a virus.
It's so funny, when I first ever got my Hotmail account, my eldest sister thought it was a dirty website, like literally from the get-go. It's those times where we just didn't know anything, and all obviously constant assumptions were always made. So it was just funny.
This was an exciting time to be a YouTube user, an internet user. Hell, it was an exciting time to be alive. This was a time where we weren't as connected as we are today. Information was shared at a much slower pace. And because we were not so connected, viral videos had much longer half-lives than videos of today. Compared to the modern YouTube landscape where a video goes viral and loses its hold as a cultural zeitgeist within days, viral era videos would stay trending for months, even years at a time. This was a really magical moment for YouTube. I remember being in middle school and a friend of mine told me, "Dude, have you seen that dramatic chipmunk video? It's so damn funny." I would go home, search it up, and proceed to watch it over and over again. And after you get that first hit of your initial viral video experience, you just want to find more. So you kept browsing YouTube on a constant search for more entertainment. And all of a sudden, YouTube became somewhere where you could be consistently entertained. You could sit there for hours watching viral videos. I believe it's fair to say that if a video goes viral, it must be entertaining to some degree, right? This is the most important point to take away from the viral era. The viral era is the story of how a website was born, a metaphorical, helpless infant. And over time, the infant learns to crawl, and then stand, and then walk. And finally, it learns to run, and it never stops. YouTube could have easily failed within the first few years following its inception, but videos found their way onto the website that would captivate millions and gave a stronger meaning to the YouTube slogan, "Broadcast yourself." Make a video and put it out there because it just might go viral. As we close out the viral era of YouTube, we begin to notice a change within the landscape of the platform.
I think now YouTube is trying to bring it back in the shape of YouTube Shorts, because like randomly you would upload anything right now and it would either bomb or it would just get a lot of views. There's views from like, there could be views like 10 views, or there could be 1,000 views in literally a matter of hours. It just depends on, the kind. I don't know what it depends on, but I think because of TikTok, it has become like that. People don't have that much patience to actually wait for a 6-minute video or 3-minute video to watch the whole thing off. Now they just watch a 15-second clip and it's either going to be a crazy hit or that. So I think they're bringing it back, like from the olden times, they're bringing it back in the form of YouTube Shorts. But if you if you disagree with me, let me know what you think is actually happening nowadays.
The chaotic spontaneity of the viral era doesn't go away, but it's no longer the highlight of YouTube as a whole. The following era begins a transition into formulaic video production, jump cuts, scheduled video uploads, and the emergence of what we now know today as the YouTuber. There's been one thing about early YouTube that I've been glossing over, purposefully. The first implementation of YouTube's paid partner program back in 2007. In the early days, this paid partner program really was not that relevant. You had to actually have a decent amount of subscribers to even qualify for it. And YouTube didn't roll ads on videos at this time, so honestly, it didn't change the experience too much for the viewer. It was just a means for creators to make some cash. However, as time goes on, we begin to see the positive and negative impacts on the website as a whole. Years 2009 through 2011, the golden era. The golden era. One of the greatest parts about YouTube as a platform is that it provides the average person with the ability to make a video and express themselves to a broad audience free of charge. From playing music to telling humorous stories or giving insightful commentaries or perhaps showcasing amazing physical feats, YouTube is a place for the average person to show the world what you are all about. And around 2009, I believe this was the time when people realized that it was possible to establish a brand built from these talents here on YouTube. And with that realization, you begin to see the first wave of YouTube content creators. A wave of creators that would upload regularly, create communities around their channels, and really develop a cult of personality surrounding themselves. The golden era's defining trait is the birth of what we now know today as the YouTuber. The YouTuber within the golden era is a completely different beast, however, when compared to the YouTubers of today. Keep in mind that the site itself was still in its fledgling stages and people really didn't know what they were doing. One major innovation was the discovery of a highly useful video editing technique known as the jump cut. Early YouTubers found that by splicing out boring parts of a video during post-editing, you could create a rapid-fire, tightly edited video that was much easier to watch for the viewer. Jump cuts would forever become the norm here on YouTube and are still in usage to this day, perhaps to excess in some cases, but still a revolutionary discovery. Despite this remarkable innovation, in a big picture scope, YouTubers were simply not as efficient as they are today with their daily upload schedules and 10-minute videos. Video production quality was not nearly as high either, as HD cameras were still a new concept and fewer people had experience with video editing. The normal upload schedule was a new video every week, and in some cases every 2 weeks. And this sounds completely absurd in today's YouTube landscape, but in this time it was expected, and actually rather enjoyed by many. Each video your favorite YouTuber would release had an added weight attached to it. Each video was something that you would catch yourself really looking forward to, much like waiting a week to watch a new Game of Thrones episode. Slow and steady is how the YouTubers did it in the golden era. In 2009, we got our first taste of those skippable 5-second pre-roll ads, which was met with universal disdain. It was a growing pain, to be fair, but this was one of the first signs of the overall corporatization and monetization of YouTube as a platform. More on that later. Now that we've given a snapshot of the YouTube landscape within the golden era, it's important that we take a look at some of the big names from the time. There are a handful of these first wave YouTubers that are actually still making videos on the site today and actually thriving. But many of them have fallen off to the wayside, perhaps due to inactivity or just unable to continue production of quality content. One of the first big YouTubers that comes to mind when I think of OG YouTube is Ray William Johnson and his Equals 3 show. Johnson started Equals 3 back in 2009 and it was a massive success for its time. He pioneered some of the YouTube video making techniques that are still in use to this day. Johnson created his own YouTube show, essentially filming from the same location each episode, styling his background, and really turning his YouTube channel into more of a brand. Ray has since fallen into irrelevancy due to him leaving the show and hiring a different host in his place, and that didn't go over well with his fans. Another example of a YouTuber using this show-building technique is the infamous YouTuber known as Fred. Fred created a character which he would play within his vlog-style videos, and his channel really blew up around 2009, and the idea of playing a character for YouTube was essentially popularized. Another YouTuber who would take this whole character gag and run with it is Boogie2988, who made some of his classic Francis videos within the time of the golden era. Creating characters for YouTube is a practice that we would see up until this day. I mean, think of people like Filthy Frank. In addition to branding, show development, and character implementation, you begin to see the emergence of the first vloggers. Vlogging in the golden era carried a different meaning than what it does now. Vlogging, or video blogging as it was originally called, featured average people telling stories or holding discussions about trending topics. Several YouTubers come to mind like Jenna Marbles, Fluffy Talks, Niga Higa, Shane Dawson, Boxy, and many more. and you also had the seeds for some of the future stars being sown at this time. The golden era is really what I think about as classic YouTube. This is the YouTube that I spent a lot of my high school years browsing. I often revisit old animations found on YouTube from this time, and it just brings me back to a better place. While this version of YouTube is gone, we can still get a glimpse back into our adolescence with these videos, and for that, I am grateful. Years 2012 through 2015, the RPG era. Welcome to the RPG era. I know a lot of you are scratching your heads like, was there a YouTube role-playing game that I wasn't aware of? Well, in this case, RPG stands for React, Prank, and Gaming Era, which were the genre of videos that dominated during this time. It was essentially a trifecta of genres that completely took over the platform, and we'll talk about each of them individually. Let's begin with gaming, and specifically, Let's Plays. So what is a Let's Play? Let's Plays are essentially videos of a YouTuber playing a video game with their commentary and reaction to the said game. A rather simple concept, but YouTubers at the time took the idea and ran with it. It's impossible to mention Let's Plays without thinking of one particular YouTuber. Care to take a guess? Yeah, PewDiePie. PewDiePie is widely considered to be the godfather of the Let's Play genre, starting back in 2010 with Let's Plays of mostly horror games such as Amnesia. He gained massive popularity on the website, and by the time 2013 rolled around, he had amassed a whopping 10 million subscribers, a growth never before seen. With PewDiePie getting the ball rolling, gaming quickly became one of the most popular genres of video on YouTube. And many other YouTubers found massive success on the platform, such as Markiplier and Jacksepticeye, using this Let's Play formula. At the same time, we started to see a massive growth in the YouTube user base, and the website seemed to explode into the mainstream. Take, for example, PewDiePie being featured in an episode of South Park. I mean, how more mainstream can you get? The following chart is a snapshot of the amount of video hours that were uploaded across YouTube's history, and notice a spike around 2012 and 2013. People were generally becoming more aware of YouTube, and the incentive to upload and watch was greater than ever. Another interesting phenomena that was occurring outside of YouTube at this time was a boom in indie gaming. This provided streamers excellent fodder for Let's Plays. Games like Goat Simulator and Five Nights at Freddy's come to mind immediately. YouTubers and YouTube viewers alike became obsessed with these bizarre indie titles, and YouTube was the place to go if you wanted to check them out before purchasing.
These things are happening now. Again, just like the YouTube Shorts are bringing back the viral videos. Now you have these gaming videos that are coming up. They're mostly on Twitch right now, but there are some big names that have very, very recently moved from Twitch to YouTube, and I have a feeling that YouTube is about to be flooded with all these gamers, all these people from Twitch, and they're just gonna come in and start to live stream basically.
Twitch had been experiencing a massive boom during this time as well, and YouTube was the perfect place for you to dump clips from your Twitch streams, edit them up, and make a highlight video. Now that the gaming scene in the RPG era has been covered, let's move on to prank videos. Prank videos have always been a staple on YouTube. Old school pranksters such as Ed Bassmaster come to mind immediately. Bassmaster is truly a pranking legend who had been in the game for years, coming up with elaborate pranks and would often play a character within his videos for comedic effects. However, in the RPG era, you begin to see a new wave of pranksters, and these pranks border the line of being entertaining and downright despicable. The RPG era of pranks often involve some innocent bystander, and often to the bystander's dismay. Pranks of this era involve cruel jokes, and really the philosophy is do whatever you can to get views and attention, and therefore money. Members of the RPG pranking community include Sam Pepper, Mo and Ethan Bradbury, FouseyTube, Roman Atwood, and many more. Not only would these pranks often portray violent and sociopathic behaviors as socially acceptable, oftentimes these pranks would be faked, thus painting a false reality of the world that we live in. making the greater public seem more aggressive and hostile. This was going unchecked for quite some time until finally the whole YouTube community decided that these pranks must be stopped. And this movement could arguably be traced to H3H3 Productions' crusade against YouTube pranksters, which he initiated in the tail end of the RPG era and the years following. Now, despite the questionable behavior these RPG pranksters were participating in, they do deserve some credit for opening up YouTube to a wider audience. Pranks are a universally understandable form of entertainment, and with so much of this content being uploaded to the site at that time, this provided a lot more incentive for people outside of YouTube to finally get on the site and subscribe to some channels. And this opens the rabbit hole for these new YouTubers to dig deeper and find other forms of entertainment here on YouTube. Prank videos were easily shared on Facebook and Twitter and were accessible for wider audiences. So despite the moral falls of these prank channels, they did help in growing the site. I guess these guys were just growing pains within the development of YouTube. It was a stage that we had to experience. One of the most popular and controversial genres of video that exist on YouTube even to this day is the reaction video genre. Most people immediately think of the Jinx-style reaction videos when this genre is talked about, and for the most part, this is what you would have expected, especially at this time. Reactions are extremely accessible and easy to digest for outside audiences. These Jinx-style reaction videos were very easy to produce, and YouTube's algorithm supported them heavily at this time. If you searched a music video by your favorite artist, at the top of the suggested videos in the sidebar, you could bet money that a reaction for that said video would be at the top of the suggested list. And there have been so many reactors that it would be impossible to list them all, but notable ones include Fine Bros, Tyrone Magnus, Jinx, and at the end of this era, you get H3H3. One thing to note about reaction channels is that there's a wide gap in creativity when it comes to these videos, and they can be done badly and they can be done well. I suppose it's all up to one's personal taste, but really, these videos were everywhere, and similar to prank videos, are loathed to some degree. One parallel that reaction videos and prank videos share is accessibility and the ability to be consumed by a wide audience. These videos did bring people onto YouTube. Now that I've covered the trifecta of reactions, pranks, and gaming videos that make up the RPG era, I want to add a bit of a footnote here. This is where I give a nod to what I like to call the counterculture community here on YouTube, which I think the major contributors of this community joined the site at this time. These are the creators who push the boundaries of creativity and challenge social norms. They make content which would feel right at home on Adult Swim. I'm talking about the Filthy Franks, the Anthony Fantanos, the H3H3s, the iDubbbz, and many more. It's really hard for me to give these guys a genre, but their start was within this era, and I feel like it's important to acknowledge them as a nod to those who personally inspire me to make videos here on YouTube. They remind me of the core philosophy of what YouTube should be about: being weird, bizarre, challenging, being you. As we wrap up the RPG era, we head into an era full of controversy and turmoil. Brace your 16 to the present day, the dramatic era. As the YouTube community grew, it was inevitable at some point that we would experience some internal quarrels here on the site. Controversy and drama is what has marked the most recent era here on YouTube, and there really is much to talk about. You begin to see YouTubers making videos about other YouTubers, the infamous exposed videos. The commentary community experienced a massive boom during this time, and you begin to see names like Leafy is Here pop up. On the flip side of the commentary community, people like H3H3 begin exposing pranksters and social experimenters like the Bradbury Bros and Joey Salads. The YouTube community as a whole became obsessed with calling out one another. In some cases it was deserved, and in some cases it wasn't. Many are instantly reminded of the whole drama surrounding Mr. Drama Alert himself, Keemstar, where the whole entire commentary community went on a vicious witch hunt to tear him down, which ultimately backfired on those exposing him with the...
It's funny that they showed H3H3 and then Keemstar right after that, because they just recently had a bit of drama between themselves regarding Keemstar's young girlfriend, And then after all of that happens, H3 gets banned from YouTube for like a week. That he can't like post anything. And this was drama based around Keemstar and his really young girlfriend, because Keemstar was 39 something and his girlfriend was 20. And then H3 kept on bringing this up, and then there was drama. And then all of a sudden, H3's his uploading capabilities are banned for a week. And then Keemstar, a few days later, basically goes that, I've broken up. I think he said that on, no, not Aiden Ross's. I think he said it on his own Twitter or something, that, we have broken up. So all of that drama was basically for nothing. It's
The exception of IDOM.
Sorry. Watching adult men and women talk like this about each other is so freaking stupid. It's like freaking high school, and these are grown men fighting about something really, really basic, and it just really puts me off of YouTube sometimes. Just going back and forth like that is just pathetic. I don't know why people do
Keemstar exposes arguably
but hey, drama creates views. Drama creates, increases of subs, and that's what they're in for.
biggest drama moment in the history of the entire platform and helped shape the hostile environment on the website. An environment where YouTubers are willing to backstab and betray personal friends if it means that they can make exposed videos and get millions of views from it. From leaked DM messages to doxing YouTubers' addresses, anything was fair game for clicks. The YouTube community was also more vigilant and self-regulating than ever. The community began to actively oust people from YouTube who were making content that was deemed morally wrong or detestable. H3 and iDubbbz are two very prominent watchdog YouTubers that come to mind who are responsible for having big impacts on several YouTubers from the community who were deemed dangerous or cancerous. We had our first major lawsuit on the website. In this case, a YouTuber known as Matt Haas Zone had sued H3 Productions for a satirical reaction video that they'd made. H3 would end up winning the lawsuit, and it finally set a precedent for YouTube copyright procedure. Philip DeFranco helped blow the lid off a child abuse case which was happening over on the YouTube channel Daddy of Five, a family-themed channel where the parents would film themselves abusing and manipulating their children simply for the means of making ad revenue. It was disgusting, and because of the YouTube community, these crooks have been to court and are now facing jail time. Now, while this drama is happening, you simultaneously saw some major structural changes within YouTube itself. YouTube announces its YouTube Heroes program, which essentially incentivizes YouTube users to flag content which some people may find inappropriate or hate speech. This is where we begin to see YouTube beginning a turn to a more PC route. YouTube's administration began cracking down on edgy content, and YouTubers begin to fear that their careers may be in jeopardy as more and more videos begin to be flagged due to inappropriate content. These creators feared that they'd be the next on the YouTube Hero hit list. Then in February 2017, everyone's fears were confirmed. A double-sided controversy emerged on YouTube. Two events that took place at the same time, and they would change the platform as we know it forever. PewDiePie gets a hit piece written about him by Wall Street Journal calling him an anti-Semite because of some jokes that he made on his channel. And then, major advertisers began pulling ads from YouTube because a separate incident occurred. A video appeared on Twitter of a Coca-Cola ad playing on a racist video. Thus begins the adpocalypse. I must state first and foremost that I don't blame PewDiePie at all for the adpocalypse. It was just an unfortunate situation, and the mainstream media decided to target PewDiePie because he is the biggest non-music YouTuber on the platform. Because of the adpocalypse, YouTube will automatically flag videos with curse words in them or videos that contain political discussion or as alternative comedy that may be deemed unacceptable by PC members of the audience.
You know, it's interesting. They were actually wrong. They went and apologized to PewDiePie, but I'm surprised that part isn't covered here. It was a huge deal, and while I do love the guy, and I'm probably biased, but he wasn't wrong in that situation, and he was just kind of dragged across the ground just because he was the biggest and they wanted to make an example, which is so stupid. He's still holding strong, to be honest, which is impressive.
And this decision was made by YouTube in order to keep the big advertisers like Coca-Cola around on the website. Now, YouTubers who have been on the site for years are starting to find their entire channels being demonetized in front of their eyes. With the threat of losing their careers, people must change their content to be more family-friendly if they want to make it here on the site, and not be censored. Which in my opinion stifles creativity and ruins what really makes YouTube great. Must I say it again, being you. Not being a censored or toned down version of you, but you in the purest form. It pains me to see some of the greatest creators on this website who have stuck around for so long being put down and stripped of their financial reward, and then we have newer YouTubers from other platforms like Vine, such as Jake and Logan Paul, being rewarded for low quality content just because it's marketable and kid friendly. To round out the end of this era and the end of this video, I would like to propose a solution for the adpocalypse. And at this moment, I would like to give credit to a smaller YouTube channel known as Wang for the inspiration of this idea. Essentially how YouTube works is advertisers may be big or small, massive companies all the way to the average Joe buying an advertisement for their small business or just to promote a band or something. When you play a YouTube video, all available advertisements go through a bidding process, and the advertiser which is willing to offer more for that ad spot gets played on the video you clicked on. This is why you see big name brand advertisements on these family-friendly videos, because the advertisers are willing to offer the most and they're confident that the video on which the ad is played on will in no way hurt their brand because YouTube has flagged said video as suitable for all advertisers. So what about the advertisers who pay less? Or the ads that lose the bid? Allow these low-paying ads to appear on videos flagged as not suitable for monetization. Give advertisers the option to select if they want their ads playing on edgy videos. Indie gaming companies, small business owners, bands, and even other YouTubers. This would open the lane for smaller advertisers to promote their products to a targeted audience, which they've decided to be more relevant to their product. And in some cases, you'd find more success than when advertising on a family-friendly video, while simultaneously giving smaller YouTubers the opportunity to make the content they want and still gain monetization. I gotta say outright, I'm by no means an insider, and I have little to no experience in marketing, but on paper this sounds like a fairly decent plan. So help me get this idea to YouTube staff. Spread the hashtag #AddItUp. Let YouTube know we support obscure content here on the platform, and we can reach a compromise that is beneficial for YouTube, YouTubers, and advertisers alike. So I guess it's time for a final dissertation. YouTube has touched so many people throughout its lifespan here on the internet, and it's birthed stars, given people careers, and toppled television. It changed the way we consume media. We laughed, we cried, we were outraged, and we were united. From the wrong side of YouTube all the way to the trending tab, from the Let's Plays to the cat videos, everything that's here exists for one reason: to entertain. As a 14-year-old kid back in 2007, I made my first YouTube video. It wasn't very good looking back, but I'm proud of myself for at least trying, and I encourage you all to do the same. Make your first video, and with enough passion, dedication, and hard work, your dream can become a reality. This is the evolutionary history of YouTube. Thanks for watching.
I did subscribe to this channel a few days ago, a few streams ago. Please, like this video. It's from 2017, so I wasn't even really aware of the whole adpocalypse situation, but it is interesting to look back and see what was happening back in the day. And look, to be honest, I've mentioned this before and I'll say it again. I do appreciate, anybody sticking around watching these live or after. Like, obviously, I don't have time to cut these videos down. That's why I'm doing live streams. And I really like to vlog in a Casey Neistat way. Whenever I can. It's just there's no time to put in the work for quality um, videos sometimes. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Hopefully things will get better in time. But the reason I'm doing this entire speech is that you don't have to watch these videos with me. I would appreciate it. I'm pretty sure these guys would as well if you actually went to these videos yourself. And I always mention the name. I always mention the creator. So go ahead and just watch it on your own. You don't have to watch it with me. I'm just watching it because this is what I would be doing, you know, in the evening anyways, reading news, watching some videos, watching a few documentaries, different things like that. So I would, I like to share that experience with any viewers. But why is Robert calling me? He's downstairs. Jesus. Hey guys. So so Rob is here. He's apparently become Thai now. He is
I'm right on time.
what? An hour late? You're an hour
I got stuck in traffic.
Okay, say hi, man. Wait, let me show you what you look like here.
So why don't you talk about Jackson?
Here's Rob. This is Robert Downey Jr. Jr.
Greetings.
And
greetings all.
he was supposed to come when? Were you supposed to come?
Right now, 8 o'clock.
Fuck you. So yeah, so we were watching this documentary, The History of YouTube, the evolutionary history of YouTube, and covered some news. And I think you're gonna like this video. I had opened it for you. but watch it. What she says. And the video is called "How to Get Rich on Twitch." So.
What was I talking about? Oh yeah, Indie Fox. I tuned into her stream. I saw that there was a fart sub goal. I left.
Twitch is mad buggin'.
Thank you so much for the 100 bits. I did leave because I support I support different fetishes, but it's just not the kind of fetish for me. But apparently she was making bank off selling farts on Twitch. So if anybody in the chat who is sitting there thinking like, oh man, there's no way that I can make money on Twitch. If you have a butthole, you can make money off Twitch. So
what happened
go
is
forth
she
and
started selling
fart.
her farts on Twitch. Oh, and made money off of it. So that's what she's saying, that that's not something I would be interested in. But clearly, she's like, if you have a butthole, you can make money on Twitch. We can all be rich, man.
Only friends as well. I think you'd be better at only friends than
Only fans.
yeah.
So yeah, guys. Robert is what are you?
Canadian.
He's Canadian. He's a friend of mine.
How's it going, Nate?
Yeah, to all of his Canadian fans, this is his introduction to streaming in general. I'm supposed to teach him how to stream as well, right?
I'm hoping.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to learn something.
So yeah, I mean, you didn't learn for an hour or so, but I'll let that go. Don't worry, I'll let that go.
Okay.
But just say something, man. There's thousands and thousands of people watching. Say something.
Greetings. Take me to your leader. No. No, we're just supposed to come down tonight. You're gonna show me a couple of things.
Yeah. Yes. Some good halal fun.
You know what you need to talk about? Okay, here. You want to know a little bit about me? Okay, so go to my video. I sent you a video link. Let's see what kind of good producer you really.
I'm a horrible producer. I can't open that. Can I search it? Tell me what the name is.
Tara.
Sorry.
T-A-R-A.
T-A-R-A.
Boom. Let's see. Go on. Fine. See here. Yeah, you want to go channel bootcamp. Eric train bootcamp.
Yeah, that would come up.
There it is. First one.
Oh, we don't talk about the tiger, man. Fuck the tiger.
No, it's my video. No. You see, it was pre-Tiger. It was like Phuket News.
Oh, okay. So they just took over, right?
They bought the assets.
They basically suck. Yeah.
They got my video.
They suck, and now they're good because they bought the assets. That's what that is. Okay.
No, they were good when they bought the assets.
You're such a supportive friend.
Here we are in the wilds of Rawai. Why? Because my producer said I was going to catch a train. So what do? I get all dressed up in my trainee outfit, but I'm looking around thinking, I don't see any trains.
Tara, catch.
Seriously?
Come, I'm gonna take that before you break it. Let me show you some real trains.
Okay, let's have a look. It's a really nice house, Robert, but how do you get a train on the second floor?
Let me show you.
Okay, I believe him. Oh my, oh wow, Robert, look at all of this. What? All right, I get it. I don't feel so silly now, dressing all up as I did. Robert, this really is incredible. How did you get this started?
Well, it started when I was extremely young, about 5 years of age. My mother and my father decided to buy a small little railroad for myself. My father had been collecting since he was a young boy, but because of the value of this, he decided that better to start with something like a Woolworths brand or a Walmart brand train first. So literally it started with this little guy here.
Oh, can I?
Oh yeah, go ahead. And I played with that for a few years, and when my parents saw that I was responsible enough, they upgraded me to this. Well, not quite this, but
That's a big step.
it was, yeah. He kind of passed on his railroad to me.
Wow, okay. So describe all of the elements to me if you can. Well, as much as you can, because there's a lot here.
Well, we've got two different systems running here right now. This is we can thank Bill Gates at Microsoft for
Thank you,
part
Bill.
of it. Yeah, thank you, Bill. Thank you, Bill. What happened was originally railroading started like this with a big old transformer that was voltage control. So the more voltage, the faster they went. Then Markland designed a digital system. So then what they've done is every locomotive now has its own little digital chip in it. And as opposed to the old school, you're now, instead of sending out a voltage to every train has full power, and the digital chip will tell you how much.
No. So I want to just pause it, so we could talk a little about
Okay.
what's going on. Go ahead. What is going on?
You're getting to the best part.
No,
You're getting to the
tell
best
me. You told about your dad collecting and stuff, right?
Okay, so what happened was, so my dad had this, when I was really young, he had this train set. It came from Germany, and it just so happens that for all of our subscribers, they probably Barclay is the #1 dealer in the world for this stuff.
Okay.
They were the guys who invented HO, and they kind of invented the small trains
Yeah.
and all the digital systems. So it's like the Mercedes of this stuff. I get super points on the railroad.
Or proof of funds. It's a kind of
We're like the inner circle. We're like
you guys are like train snobs. That's what
we're
it
like
is.
Rothschilds. The Rothschilds of
Jeez.
model railroading. Okay.
Fair enough.
So,
And so, how long did it take you to like collect all this stuff?
well, no, what happened was, so here, ironically, so my dad had a small little collection, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Then he kind of gave it to me when I was, like I said, when I was a little bit older, he kind of gave me, he built me a little layout, and I didn't destroy it. My grandmother, when I was really young,
Yeah.
she made me a couple little pieces, so I still have them. It's still kind of neat stuff. That's 40 years old.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it kind of evolved from there. And then what happened was, so he amassed a little collection, and then I inherited the whole thing. I amassed, a little bit bigger, nothing crazy.
Yeah.
And then I met this guy. I actually stupidly met the local buy and sell newspaper.
Okay.
Every city had one of the buy and sell. So he had this dumb lad that said, something like, oh yeah, Markland train, Wolfgang. So I called him. A couple of pieces.
Yeah.
He goes, yeah, I got those. Come on over. So ended up becoming really good friends with this guy.
Mm-hmm.
He was almost as if he was kind of falling and past this thing. So one day we're sitting there having coffee, and he said, "I want you to buy my consent." I was like, "Oh, it's for Wolfgang," and he makes me this video that was so freaking stupid that I couldn't say it out.
Okay.
So it was a massive production. So overnight I had 22. That's what this one did.
Okay. Interesting.
So,
And do you still collect? Like, are there any places in Thailand?
yeah.
Where
There's
are
actually,
they?
yeah, they're all in Bangkok, of course, but there's a couple guys that are actually quite good.
Okay.
One guy's kind of a small little deal. He doesn't get a lot, but he's got stuff. And then there's another bigger one.
Yeah.
And it's impressive. He's as good as some of the smaller stores I've been to internationally. So I've got no complaints. His pricing is in those stuff is obscene. I always said, I bet you can ever know cheaper than this product.
Mm.
Yeah. Because he's got a great little selection. His prices are his prices. They're fair or whatever it is. So it's I've got connections with a hobby here. There's even a small little group that I've joined
Yeah.
up here. Guys, it's crazy because as guys get older, now they always get to spend their own income. So it's kind of like the hobby's having a rebirth. So these Asian guys are getting into it.
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of neat. So
It's pretty cool.
It's living on. I was concerned that it was just going to be a dying hobby because it is really the world's greatest.
Yeah.
It's the only thing that you can do. Think about it. If you were to pull out the toys you played with when you were 7 years old,
Yeah.
right now, they'd stick you in the hospital because I think you're
Oh, I saw your
I
T-shirt. It says still plays with trains. Yeah.
You can pull out a train set that you played with when you were 7 years old. Anybody who comes over will look at that thing and go, "Oh, cool!
Yeah.
You know, neat as thing. Can we play with it?" Everybody. So even as an old man,
Yeah.
you can play with these things for 7 years in a row.
Interesting.
It's a wonderful hobby. Wonderful.
Cool. Let's watch the rest and
Well, yeah. Which is
and then we'll review the.
vegan cake.
We don't do vegan in this house, man. It's meat or nothing.
Trust me, man. You eat this thing, you're gonna go, "Oh my
Okay.
God."
All right.
Trust me.
Let's watch the video now.
much voltage actually goes to the motor.
Okay.
So it gives you a lot of extra features that this was very restrictive in.
And you get more buttons, so it looks cooler
I get
too.
a lot more buttons to play with
Yeah.
now with digital as opposed to the old system here. Yeah, a lot more buttons, including a remote control.
Yeah, that's nuts.
I'll come in here with the intent of only hanging out for maybe 5 or 15 or a half an hour,
Right.
and time evaporates.
This is your Game Boy.
Exactly.
Right.
2-3 hours will go by in a heartbeat.
Oh.
2-3 hours will go by. No problem.
And
No
you're
problem
always
at all.
tinkering, you say.
Endless tinkering. As you
Endless.
see, even while you're talking with me, I'm
Yeah.
running around and cleaning this and pushing that. And
A passion, isn't it?
it's nonstop. If you took a look underneath, I'll show you all the wiring later, and you'll kind of go, oh my God, you know, yeah, tinkering galore. This was actually my father's first locomotive.
Am I allowed to? Whoa, that's heavy.
She's got some metal to it.
How old would this be?
That thing is 65 years old.
Okay, definitely take it away from me.
65 years old on that one there, yeah. Something that's really unique about this layout, and it happened completely by accident. When I was back in Canada, I joined a club, and one of the members, his health turned for the worse, and long story short, he saw that I really enjoyed the hobby, and that I wasn't going to, take a layout, buy it, and then sell it on eBay, that I was actually going to use it and play it with it. So he approached me one day, and he said, Rob, I want you to buy my layout. And he made me a price I couldn't say no. I mean, it was a massive discount. So keeping in mind, this is in Canada. So I get the layout home, and I start opening everything out. Of course, he was showing me various different bits and pieces. Well, this piece comes out of a box. And I go, I recognize this piece. And I'm
That
going,
does look familiar, doesn't it?
It is. And as ironic as it would be if it was anything that was sort of meant me to come to Thailand and to bring my layout here, is that this fellow, born and raised in Germany, built his layout in Canada, pulls out of this box the bridge over River Kwai. So I'm thinking, what a nice piece. Here I am in Thailand now, and I have a piece of Thailand as part of my layout.
That is beautiful. Wow. That's quite emotional, really, isn't it? No
Wow.
wonder.
It's just like I say, a nice connection. So it sort of says it was the karma to be that I'm in the right place at the right time. What I'm hoping is that my daughter actually takes to this hobby. I'm really
Now, your
gonna encourage
daughter's
her.
10 months
Correct.
old now. Is she being allowed past that door?
Oh, regularly.
Has she been allowed to touch anything? Because I could imagine train to mouth would be pretty much what the situation is.
That's
a bit
what
of
it is right now. It's more
teething
it's
material.
It's more sit on Dad's lap and watch everything kind of go by.
So she's enjoying it.
She's enjoying it. Well, and Daddy, being the good daddy that I am, I'm following the tradition of my grandmother. I've already bought her own locomotive.
Oh,
She has her own locomotive. So when she's a little bit old enough, she's a little older,
yeah.
a little bit more responsible, here you go.
And that's the only one she's allowed to touch until
For now, it'll be
she's
the
how old?
Well, we'll see. I mean, I took to it at about 7 years of age, 7, 8
Right.
years of age. So I'll say, well, if you do it at 5, you're more than welcome. But I'm hoping that she takes to it. I really do. Because
Wow.
it's, like I say, it's the only hobby you can take from her youth, right to retirement.
Love it. Well, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate this.
If you get a chance, I mean, you can follow me. I've got my own little Facebook page, little group called Model Railroad Thailand.
Model Railroad Thailand.
Thailand, yeah.
On Facebook.
On Facebook. It's my
Okay.
little personal group. It's a group of us just sort of Thai individuals. Believe it or not, model railroading is really taking off here in Asia.
Okay.
As people now have a little bit more expendable income,
Brilliant.
they're getting into the hobby, which is kind of nice because back in North America, it's one of these hobbies that's sort of slow, I wouldn't say dying out, but its popularity is dropping. Kids
But-
nowadays want to play Nintendo
That's right.
and their iPads and whatnot.
This is much more tactile and fun.
Pretty cool,
Well,
though.
it's a creation hobby. You're putting
So
it together.
you
You're thinking
wired
everything out.
everything
You're
yourself?
troubleshooting all the
Hold on,
time.
the,
It's not just turn the iPad on and away you go.
Yes.
Do you
It's
still
a little
have this
more
in your
to it.
house?
Oh, that's brilliant. Well, thank you. Thank you again. And there you go. Go to the Facebook page.
People change
And if
their
you're lucky enough and meet Rob, maybe he'll show you his trains.
Well, thanks, Sarah, for coming by.
Okay, thank you very much.
Why does it gotta go?
It's what happened was, okay, so this is the first one I built. Like I said, it took me 6 months to build this. It
Yeah.
took 3 months to build the top part.
Yeah.
And then all that wiring and everything underneath, you look underneath, it's like, it's like a haberdashery underneath.
Yeah.
It's just wire. All of this, all those little switching gears, all the electrical that's going on. in
Yeah.
there, most of it takes 3 wires, and I have to run it one side of the table all the way to the end. So it was another 3 months to put it together. What happened was, about a year after I put it all together, like the plywood, I couldn't get plywood when I first put it together.
Okay.
So I bought this stuff, and really what this is, what you're supposed to, this stuff is for making forms. You gotta pour like a concrete base to a house, and use this kind of plywood, you know. It all started to warp and buckle, and, so nothing's level anymore, so the train will go across a piece of track, because it's not sitting on a flat piece of wood.
Yeah.
You know, it'll push down, and it'll break the connection, and, you know, it's just, doesn't bother. That's my biggest problem. I really don't know.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking for something to have in the background. Oh, what was your thing? What is it? Model?
Model railroad.
Oh, this one. Cool. Let's join it. That's 499 members now.
Oh,
Edging towards 500.
we need one more.
man.
Come on. The one person that's watched the video, please join so we can get over 5.
There isn't one person. There's thousands of people watching. What's wrong with you, Rob?
You know,
Okay, that's cool. Well, you would, if you like add, if you do another post, you'll probably get something.
what do you want me to put out?
Or just like it. I'll like it for you. Who cares? And see if you can. That's pretty cool, man. So 70-year-old train, like
Yeah.
the
locomotive.
The locomotive.
70 years old. And it was my dad's, and when he was a young boy, he thought this thing was a thing back in Germany.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was it. So he gave it to me. And you know what? All I've done for John
Yeah.
is some minor little PS maintenance to it, and it still runs to this day. It's,
Yeah.
as I say, it's one of my hardest working locomotives. That it's upper track, and I'll just turn it on and it runs nonstop. Just goes. It's still in a little circle.
Okay.
Still around.
Use the electric or by?
It's all
electric.
all
Not by.
It's all.
Okay.
So that thing's got.
I need to check this out. Man.
Come on over, anytime.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Yeah.
So what's with the cake? Uncle Dean's cake.
Uncle Dean's wacky cake.
Wacky
Are you
cake.
ready for some wacky cake?
Sure, let's do this.
Okay, bro.
Uncle Dean should be watching for this, by the way.
You know, we get the whole subscribers. You know,
Okay, so this is we have an Uncle Dean. He is apparently a connoisseur.
No. It's completely. Wait till you eat this. It's completely vegan. Okay, so there's no eggs in this thing. Yeah, exactly. Just dive in.
Okay, so here's the cake.
Yeah, right. Get that.
Here's the cake, and let's try it out, I guess.
Yeah,
But we don't support veganism on this channel.
Is Chrissy Hines watching?
Who's Chrissy Hines?
Some of the pretenders. It's Peter.
Probably.
Yeah.
This is good. Look at this.
You do the ingredients, you blow them away. It's like 3 or 4 ingredients. Super simple. Super delicious. Turns out like this every time. You make slight modifications.
Dean's making some really good stuff. He still has to make my. Dean, you have to make my Big Mac, by the way.
Sunday. He's talking Sundays.
Busy Sunday.
Come over with you busy Sunday. I'll have you do that. I'll tell you how much you enjoy it.
Oh, screw you.
Cancel. You know, Big Mac, like Dean Big Mac. You know this one. I had a quarter pounder.
I love the white stuff. What's the white?
Never asked.
What the white stuff is?
But
Dangerous.
when I went to Vietnam, they had motor facilities on the street, and it was at anything, like around me,
Mm-hmm.
not even warned, never asked what's the need. So I already had one, so I'm done. I got one of these things.
That's for bringing it. It's amazing.
I got for breakfast.
So,
So I was, I don't know if anybody knows, but Zoe's had a few problems with his car. So how's it?
oh, I sold it.
You sold
Yeah,
it?
of course, fine.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you get what you wanted for it?
Yeah.
More?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I saw that link. So I didn't give that one more, man.
No, but I
Oh,
sold it
yeah,
to my
I-
friend. I sold it to my
You
friend.
stole it
and
from
I
your friend, man.
sold it to my friend, and I told him every single thing that's wrong with it because he's a good friend, and I don't want to obviously screw him over.
And he's not our friend anymore.
We have some issues now. No, so he basically gave it to his mechanic. The mechanic kept it for like 5 days instead of like just half a day, and he's like, "These are the problems with it. Do you want to buy it? I can fix it for you." And he goes like, "Sure, let's do it." I went to his place for something else, and he just was like, "Okay, here's the money. You just transfer it like that." I still have the green book as well. I have to give that thing to him.
Yeah. Good for you.
But yeah, he's happy with it. No, he's still getting the car fixed. It's like,
What now?
no, that's the thing. The freaking mechanic pulled everything apart, pulled the whole car apart, and my friend's like, you were only supposed to test this shit out, man. Just check it. And now that you've opened it, screw it. I'll buy the car. I'll pay you to fix it. So he's getting shocks changed.
Good.
He's getting a whole bunch of stuff fixed, like aircon unit and blah blah. And he's really excited, and I'm now really jealous because that car, like that was my project car. I bought it so I could do projects on it, but then I didn't have time for it. So now he's going to enjoy what I wanted to do.
And, he's hiring someone to do it all for him. They can fix it all. Like he's just drive the car.
Yeah, but hey, I think we're gonna be looking at a really nice Honda Accord that I used to own very soon.
Okay. Glad it lived on.
Yeah,
Right.
all in the family, and keep it in the freaking family.
It's a happy story.
Yeah.
Happy story.
Yeah. So there's that. Now bike and other car after stuff. Please help me when you can.
Okay, for thousands of people watching, you got a car for sale.
It's a car for sale, people. Let's do it. So
Car and motorbike.
yeah. So those two boys, they are permanent installation for this channel. They have been for like about 3 years now, and clearly I haven't been around for too long, like working on videos for too long. But
They get a lighter.
no. So yeah. What I did want to show you though, let's make ourselves smaller. So this is what we look like. Okay. All the wrinkles are showing, Rob.
I don't even talk to you. I was just WhatsApp chat saying, oh, it was an app that it makes you younger, makes you older. So I got to see
Yeah.
what I would look like when I was 90.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to pick a big one. I'm pretty.
Okay. Please, you have future plans.
Well,
Oh, said.
I
already.
can live to be 90, but my good friend Bob, it's hilarious. He's 77. And his classic, the funniest lines ever said was, the music for Bob was, if I ever got a young girlfriend on this trip, and she didn't go, geez, Bob, he's 77. Okay, Bob. Well, okay, Bob, how old is she? He goes, oh, this is young. She goes, she's 50, And you're going, what?
Good for him. Good for
And he
him.
goes, oh, I'd never get a girl that young back in America.
I'm really proud though. You know what I did this morning? I woke up at 5:15. Went for a run for
Serious?
quarter of an hour. Yeah.
I got up yesterday at 6.
No, not quarter of an hour. Like 45.
I was up yesterday real early and I went to I got up at 6.
Lame. Running's the thing to do.
Yeah,
That's what all the cool kids are doing.
Well, I wish I could have moved my sciatic nerve. I probably think you're in your driveway.
Fair.
You will.
Yeah.
And watch the.
Okay. Yeah, a friend of mine, he's leaving for France. He's leaving in the middle of October.
That's
Just fine.
great.
Let's just let's just do this for like an entire month. But I don't think we will manage.
What's that?
Be able to run every single day at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Why not?
People, like,
Get up and do it. What are you doing at 5:30 in the morning?
sleeping.
Get up and run. There you go. That's all you're doing
Okay.
anyway.
Fair.
Mhm.
So yeah, so I want to show Rob how to stream because he makes all the excuses in the world to not stream.
No, it's called a 7-year-old daughter and a 5-year-old daughter.
No, those are just freaking excuses, okay? You don't blame it on your
Not
freaking- your
the
beautiful
changes.
daughters. That's just
Not
not
the
okay.
Oh yeah, beautiful daughter. Just wait for it.
I'm avoiding as long as possible. Mom's not gonna be happy if she sees this.
You're doing a good job, by the way, I tell you. Good for you. Continue having sex like a porn star. I'm telling you. The kids come along, that all comes to crashing.
Well,
Ron
that's true.
Jeremy, you want to go
That's
on.
why you wrap it up. That's why you're supposed to wrap it up.
Oh,
But
no, I got mine fixed.
oh shit! I turned off the background music, so it's just our voices for like the longest time.
Good. I can hear I just the Pavarotti voice.
No, it actually sounds good. Check it out. Watch. Oh, listen. What?
Well, let's send it out for the viewers.
What?
Let's send it out. How do we sound?
Yeah. See.
I need to be louder. We need a better mic. We need a Blue Yeti. I have a Blue. I need to be louder.
Give it to me since you're not doing shit. with
Yeah.
it. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Yeah, really.
No, but this is so. This is OBS, by the way, right? So this is OBS. It's in what is it called? What's this stand for?
Constant
OBS.
biological science.
OBS. It stands for Open Broadcaster Software.
Okay.
OBS
You
Studio.
told me about this book.
Yeah. So if anybody wants to be any kind of streamer with thousands and thousands of viewers, this tutorial for that.
So we're really just you just plug your camera into your computer like you've done,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and then turn this thing on.
Yeah, but you need that. That's called a cam link. So that's for like 2,500, 3,000. That you see the one with the light?
That was that USB stick down
Yeah.
there.
So that connects. That connects to the computer via USB, and the cam link has HDMI cable coming down to here, and then there's a connector to the camera, the micro HDMI. So that
I mean, I couldn't just plug my DSLR in and go.
you not for streaming, no, not like direct HDMI, just doesn't work for that.
Oh, really?
But you know, this is an external one. There are internal ones as well, if you want to. Yeah, but okay. So there's that, right? Then there is this entire, whatever scene you want to make set up, right? Like you add a scene to it, and then you can like label these like, okay, this is gonna be from which camera, right? You can configure the video, for example. You can make it, see, look, I look white now.
Oh my God, you do.
Something like that, right? There's that. Then there's web pages, for example. So look at this. All the web pages that are open right now, this kind of covers all.
What is this? Pornhub, Red
Shut up.
Tube.
So you add whatever web pages you have, and then you can open whatever you want in this entire thing, and every time you do this, it will show, right? But it will show only if you have these open together. So now, if you click on self cam, which I wrote myself, this was like display adapter or something. So if I do this, right? If I click on this, it says, red. Right, it shows a red box, and you can make it small or big. You can put it anywhere you want, right?
Okay.
So for example, you do this, right? So every time, this is a preview, this is a program, this is what the world is seeing, watching, this is what you can see.
Oh, well, that's how it works.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So if, for example, you click here, and the web pages are open, for example, this now, since I have live going on over here, normally, people use at least 2 monitors. It's just easier. I don't have a second one right now, so I'm just using one, and that's why I try to keep this open on the side. So just notice, like, while, now you can see exactly what's showing, right? So we are basically in a little box like we set up, and then, you can see this. I can go here, you'll eventually see it, right? Like that. Right? I mean, obviously, there's always a delay. I think like maybe 10 seconds of a delay, and
there it is.
yeah, and things keep on setting up like that. So obviously, OBS, it takes a while to learn. There's a lot of there's a lot of videos out there, which you can go on YouTube. There's tutorials. There's like 1 hour tutorial. There's 20-minute tutorials. It's up to you, whatever you want to. And then for example, this is something I make myself. Let's remove ourselves here and turn this on. So this is the starting soon.
Oh, this is your intro thing.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I basically shut down the sound on this, and this just shows and shows and shows. Now I can make this big or small as well, right? But I don't want that right now. And look, everything that is higher, that's the one that's going to be seen. So if I bring this down here, do a transition. Yeah, so this and this, you can see it again. You can see all of this. So there's that. Yeah. I have no idea what's going on. But anyways.
I believe it's not fake face.
This
What
is
do you?
Dean? It's a video call.
Check it out.
If it comes again, I'll. What? It's not my date, man. I'm single as they.
I know you're the. You live vicariously through in your single dating life.
I think there should be an entire video where we talk about how you're living like that through me while I'm literally on a Friday night. I'm like streaming live with a 60-year-old dude.
Thanks.
I'm joking. You're 50, right?
Yeah, I'm in my 50s. Yeah.
Good for you, man. You look fantastic for 50. Yeah. But yeah. So
tell us, young virile young one. What are you doing on a Friday night?
nothing. I'm too busy with my own shit, man. Like I wanna.
You know, making a million of my Chinese friends. Like,
Do not. No.
Make $1 million. You know.
Oh, you're gonna get a censored or something or banned or some shit.
Oh, don't worry. You know. Oh, come
No?
on. You know, we're Canadians. We can make fun of it.
Okay, good.
You know, we make fun of ourselves. We make
Fair.
fun of Canadians.
Yeah. So yeah, there's.
As Canadians, we make fun of it.
Yeah.
Especially the guys. Just
Tell me about it. Tell everybody about it.
What the hell they put the water in that province? I do not know. Because
Why?
the people there are just the weirdest. They speak English, but they don't speak English. You hear them, you can't understand.
Okay.
And they are just. Some of them are just thick as fence posts. You know, you're asking yourself, how did you find the front door to your house? You know, or even more importantly, you think to yourself, you think,
Yeah.
and you were the fastest sperm? You know? You're going, huh?
That is true. Yeah.
And everybody makes fun. Everybody. Anybody, even a neighbor runs away.
Yeah.
Yeah, so something went wrong. Something went wrong there.
But like, okay, this could actually be a weekly thing if you want, where you just talk about random like specific shit, random shit, not specific shit.
Can I talk about my water pump today? You know, the 3 days of hell.
No,
Hell, water pump hell.
that just sounds boring. Was it? Is it
Oh,
boring? Okay, tell us about it.
No, I'm not thinking about it. Stories, but yeah, boring. No, you know, I got to tear out and put in a water pump 3 times. Finally, the 3rd time I found the speed coupler, so
Yeah.
do it again. Report now. It works.
But so you can fix shit in the house?
Oh God, yeah. I'm Canadian, man. Come on, we fight off polar bears. We live in England.
Yeah,
Of
I've
course
heard
we
the
fix
stories
it.
of Marshall and Dean and
Yeah.
all that.
Of course we
No, because there's a lot of stuff I need fixing all the damn time.
Well, who
And I
got-
just don't.
who
So
got-
I need to fix a
who
water
got your
pump
car-
as well, a
who got-
pressure water pump.
Who got your car sorted? Okay.
I know. I
Okay.
appreciate it.
What's wrong with your pump? What's wrong with your water pump?
So Ashton tried, and he failed. He was really excited, poor guy. He was really excited and he failed. It's basically,
Yeah. You're young.
if you turn it on, it keeps on going.
That's easy. It's pressure sensor. It's a good, one of those shitty Hitachi pumps, all in one thing.
I don't know. Yeah, probably.
Okay, there's a big gray thing in there. If you told me what wrong with it,
What?
the pressure switch. It's one of those crappy
I
Hitachi.
mean, you can take a look and
Before you go that, change that. Please go buy that.
what?
I'll change the gray thing.
Okay. No, that's
Why?
the thing. I don't get a chance to do all of that because I come home from work and this is what I do. And by the end of the night, I'm just really exhausted. So,
Well, this is tough.
Huh?
This is really tough.
No, I mean, it's easy when there's somebody there because then you're just like, feeding off each other's energy. But when you're doing it yourself, you're like, okay, I want to present or entertain or something. And then literally, like I said, I was about to shut it right before you called again because, you're tired apparently. So I like this guy, for example, evolutionary history of YouTube, he made this baby Webster. He made this documentary and I watched like 2 minutes of it and then realized I was like, oh, I want to watch this like properly in the evening. And then either I watch it alone or I watch it here. So other people can be exposed to it and maybe I can comment a bit on it. So, and now I'm just doing that. Any video, any movie, anything I want to like do after hours, I just like put this on and, just enjoying myself. I mean, hey, it's giving me view hours, which is nice. Good. View time and watch time and shit.
How's this not on OnlyFans for?
I don't know.
Come on.
No, you need.
This guy is like the playboy of the cat, okay?
True, you do.
He's got his little geeky hat on right now, and everything.
I don't get any dude.
I hope you don't get dudes. I really don't. You know what? The way
I
you
don't get
go.
any comma.
Look, when I signed on the line, I didn't realize.
No, but okay, let's look at OnlyFans. How about that? Let's watch. Let's get me banned today. Okay, but that's what I'm trying to say. That OnlyFans is not. It's for OnlyFans. That's the point of it all.
Well, look at it opens to your account. That's pretty amazing.
But hey, this isn't. You can't get into trouble if your wife.
God, look at her. What's this? Oh, here we go.
So this is the
Hold on.
Wait, can anybody see this already?
My seatbelt on. I don't want to fall in.
Jesus. So see, this is it. You sign in, and
Sign
I'm not signing in
You've got your
because
name and password already. Just hit the login button.
people can see that there is nothing over there.
Oh, they can
Just so
see
you
this?
know.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's what I'm trying to say. That you have to like actually buy somebody's subscription
Oh.
and then you do it.
Put your,
But
put your Amex Black card in there.
Top only fans earners just fucking make so much money, dude.
I keep telling you. Why are you here? Put your Google glasses on and just go like what you do out in the streets.
No, so this was August 22nd, right? This was like, what, like 10 days ago? About? Right.
What was their mid-month bonus? Let's see. Top
No
10.
freaking idea. So
what does
Jem
she make?
Wolfie, I don't know who she is.
She makes $5 a month. What?
No, the subscription. dude.
900K.
The subscription
Estimated
is
monthly.
$5.
Look at this, 900K.
Yeah, I know.
It's got 108,000.
Yeah, so like 5 multiplied by 100. No, so these are followers.
Yeah.
I think followers mean subscriptions. Because on Twitch, followers mean followers and subscribers mean subscribers. They're separate.
Okay.
On YouTube, oh, this is a good teachable moment as well.
Yeah, here we go. Here we go.
So
I know
on
we're gonna need
YouTube,
some.
on YouTube, you can subscribe to somebody,
Yep.
and you can subscribe as in pay them $5 a month for a member-only thing. You know, you can get the merchandise. You can get live streams can be they're the first ones who watch live streams. Other people don't get to see them until later, things like that. So OnlyFans, I think it's like the followers mean paying followers, right? So this woman. They're not okay. They do have.
Good God. Drop a beat.
Mashallah. Yeah. So
What's this? Woohoo!
we can also notice a fitness influencer on. Okay, actual income is not estimated, but she disclosed that she's getting.
$30,000 a day.
So it's possible. It's a possibility she's also on this stuff. Are you freaking kidding
Look at
me?
this.
$30,000 a day? Are you? And
I keep telling you, get out there, man. Shake it. Shake it. Shake it, baby.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you do. You know what? You go on with this stuff. It's just like, you're like, what the? Like, look, I don't
Oh
get it.
God.
This guy, like magnet.
Yeah.
Sure.
Sure.
I don't know what
Okay.
you do. What?
Check this out. She earns 1.06 million.
But look at the $25 a month. Let's
Yeah.
see that.
Yeah.
We got sample.
No.
Nothing.
No.
Well, how do you advertise? You gotta make this.
No, because they go on they go on Instagram and shit, and they post stuff, and then they go like, wear nudies and stuff on my OnlyFans. Nudies, like nude photos and shit. So there's that.
What's this one?
Safari Samuels. Is the dude?
See him.
He's also registered and earns almost
1.9.
$2 million from OnlyFans. He began his career as a rapper, songwriter, and YouTuber. What?
There you go.
What kind of shit that he does he
So,
put in?
look at this guy here, number 7, So Phuket.
2.2 mil. You're not buying them. You're just watching pictures.
Sorry.
Oh, 4.5 mil for Eric Mena, whatever. Mia Khalifa. So interesting story about Mia Khalifa. You don't know about Mia Khalifa? Are you kidding me?
Married, 2 kids. Oh God. Mama.
Oh shit. The camera shut down.
Good.
They can still hear you, by the way.
Good.
This stupid shit.
Good.
Let me change the batteries. So I need to buy like a freaking dummy battery,
Yeah.
so I can I don't have to do this.
What the dummy operated.
Yeah.
Way upside down. Let's see, I'm getting more learning
Yeah.
moments.
There you go.
There you go.
But I want to see if the camera's working because sometimes some shit shuts down. Oh, I'm yellow again. Give me a second. Oh no, it's all set up. I don't know what's up. Anyways, so Mia Khalifa, by the way, she was a huge porn star.
I could see huge. Yeah. Okay.
No, but in all honesty though,
She's-
huge, massive porn star. And what happens is she got.
Where is she from? She's like from the Middle East or something?
I don't want to just assume.
Mia.
Mia Khalifa.
Where's she from?
Lebanese.
Lebanese.
Yeah. So she's wearing that because that was like one a porno or something. So what happened is she got threatened by freaking ISIS. I'm not even joking. She actually got threatened by ISIS and she fucking left it. She's like, screw this shit, I'm done. And now she has her. I didn't know she has her OnlyFans because she got married and stuff, and she was kind of like, saying that all that life is over for me. But apparently, I mean, 6.4 mil.
Well,
It's
hey,
not a bad
for
deal.
$12 a month, what the hell?
Exactly.
Let's see who's in there. Let's see who's with ISIS in there. You know?
And the funny thing is, she actually brought this thing up that a lot of Middle Eastern men actually search her up in porn. It was the biggest, scandal. That you're like heavy-set religious Muslims and fundamentalists. Why are you watching porn? And they were searching for Mia Khalifa, and it was a huge thing back in the day. Anyways,
Good for them.
yes.
Spread that.
Tega, what the?
Spread that love around. What the fuck?
$7.5 million
For this
per
guy?
month.
Dork.
Was he say uses platform to share his lives and intimate look behind the scenes of his music albums and okay, I get that. I don't think he does nudes and stuff. I think he just like kind of like a quick preview of his album or some shit. Maybe he does
For $20
that.
a month, he's got 22 million followers. Wow.
But again, rapper and all that shit. So, Cardi B only shared 6 posts on the OnlyFans platform, but still has the third most earner, and makes more than $9 million per month. Holy crap, that's ridiculous. But yeah, so
Bell thrown.
Bella Thorne,
Bell thrown. It's thrown one in there.
11 mil, dude. It's really interesting that Amaranth is not in this. Amaranth,
Who's number one?
black female.
Why? Reality stars are on $20 million. He's making more than some of the top Hollywood actors.
Yeah.
You know.
But after the global situation of 2020, it's become medium for many people to make general. Yeah, so apparently you can
Why aren't we there?
I don't know.
The thousands of
We're
people
just
that
not
are watching
talented
this
enough,
now.
dude.
Well,
I mean, let's just drop our OnlyFans account like right now and see what happens.
bing.
But yeah, so
I would have.
so that's your thing about OnlyFans, I guess. Yeah, let's make this a thumbnail. so check this out. So we will appear on it like this. Yeah. You'll see. But yeah, that's basically what the world is doing. Like early drops of like merchandise, early drops of music, nudes. Is that you? Are you beeping?
Obviously, I didn't put the phone on, so I was going to find out. Oh, it's one of my train friends.
But yeah, so that's what OnlyFans is all about. You're learning a lot today. I just realized.
So, better voice clip tomorrow. Probably wonder what else going on.
Maybe 1,000.
Okay, so how exactly? We're gonna give them the insight. So if you subscribe for $1.99 a month, maybe we'll send you a messenger message.
But see, that's how Twitch works as well. By the way, people. Look at this. Oh, let's see if we can get. If he covers us, we're
Hopefully it's
probably
gonna
gonna
be
be
good.
rich. Like,
Look at Doc. He's doing numbers on YouTube. Yeah, but Doc's like an actual good streamer.
Hey,
so
NMP
that
poll.
makes sense.
NMP low. So
TikTok
this
live.
guy, he has a girlfriend who's pretty cute. Right now, there's 11,000. Oh, you can't. The viewers can't see this. Let me say. So he has 11,765 people watching him live right now.
Why?
Because he's talking about.
We're talking about something. Okay.
Yeah, but he's famous. No, but
Would you just get your Phuket
No, no,
life?
no.
You'd be famous by now. You go around with your Phuket lifestyle.
what's the killer story? Oh, what I do on a daily
You're
basis. Yeah.
really into that.
Let me quit my job with something and we'll figure something.
No, quit your job. Quit your job. You gotta support that lifestyle.
So basically, all these people are chatting with him. Okay, on the right, all these people are chatting with him. He has the camera, just like this one, probably a slightly better one or whatever.
What's he talking about?
He's
Same time, no?
he's probably talking about some Twitch drama or something. But the thing is that he worked his ass off for like more than a year or so. I think 2 years.
A year. Jesus.
Yeah, but it's about commitment, like it's about consistency. Like for example, if you stream every single day and you work towards coming up with content and different things like that, people do respect the hustle, man. So like when I was streaming last week, I was like, okay, I'll just start live streaming every single day. I couldn't go more than an hour and a half tops, dude. These guys do 9, 8 to 9, 10, 13 hours of streaming continuously. Can you imagine that? That's a full time. I have mad respect for these guys.
What was you talking about? How could you get I don't know, really good. Okay, well, that's
He's talking about general thing. But yeah, this is what the world is now, man. I mean, you could have a freaking live stream of your entire train set situation and see what happens. You think people aren't interested? People are interested in the randomest shit, man. Look at this one. Look at this girl. She's a Korean chick, right? No, you'll get cancelled. No, you can't do that.
okay.
No, because there's a copywriting issue.
We'll talk about it.
Hmm?
Oh, the song's only 25 years old, so you don't have to worry. Remember, I'm old. I'm like 60.
But that's what I'm saying.
It ain't the Beatles.
Look at this girl. She's a Korean chick. She's in Italy right now, and she's just walking around. She has over 5,000 viewers. She's been streaming for 3.5 hours.
No, if you're walking around Italy, easy.
I know.
I could do this in Germany.
Yeah, but you're talking about like constantly talking to people, following their chat, entertaining people, listening to them, acting on what sometimes they suggest. It's a whole bunch of shit, man. It just keeps going on and on and on.
And she's talking to people, she's walking around.
Yeah, she's basically so there's this girl named Just Keith or Ket. She's a streamer in Bangkok. She's a French Thai girl who has bad English and she uses that bad English to stream. She streams 8 hours every single day. And from what I've seen, she has like a band and there's one phone on the band and she's holding a phone with a a tripod and she's just walking around. She covers the whole day, just walking around from one side to the other of the city, doing whatever is happening, just if it's raining, she'll still be out there, she's meeting people, she's, talking to the guard, different things like that. Goes on and on and on, all the way until she ends up in her apartment and screams. She says bye, says thank you to people, blah, blah. She's shopping with them, she's eating with them, different things like that. And she starts her stream normally, I've noticed, like just walking from one side to the other. On the middle of the road, basically. So what's their name? Just Ket or Keith?
How'd you find it?
Well, I look around, like, I like getting ideas from different
Taiwan.
streamers, like what they do. That's not her. That's Kiera Kitty. That's not her. This is her. So look at this. For example, I'm looking for a long stream. So like for example, this 8 hours got 18,000 views, and she basically starts the stream like this. You know, where she's stuck in, you know, a flooded area in
Hi, Diane.
Pattaya. Yeah. And then she's just, you know, going on
It'll
and
be
on.
first person to see me go in a hole.
And so right now there's just one person who's chatting,
And then street.
and now, and that keeps on, like, you know, starts increasing. People are talking like that. And
My God. Dude, look at this.
so if I really
so
speed run
scary.
through all of her stuff, it's like, you know, she's going some, you know, she's covering this, you know, she's still walking, right? And like, look at this. So she's just here.
How is she monetizing?
So basically, when you have like more than, I think, I don't know if it's 3 streamers in like the days and the consistent number of streamers, there's a certain number. I don't know what it is right now. I mean, I've seen it, but so she's just like, you know, doing her thing. Now you're asking how she monetizes it. They have these, you know, pages. For example, her own page, where in the About Me section, you can, you know, yeah, you can write the About Me, you can donate, you can, and you know, for example, you can, there are bits, you know, it's a Twitch currency, you can do this, you can, you know, she accepts crypto, for example, she has her YouTube channel, blah, blah, and if you click on donate, it takes us to this page where you can, you know, write a message. So you can actually do the message as if a loud message as well, like a robotic voice as well. You can write whatever, $5, $10, whatever, and you can do it. Now check this out. This month, the highest one was given to her by this person named Vachi, $123. I don't know how people have this extra money lying around. Now, I wouldn't give somebody $100. Like, I don't have extra money, so I don't.
Either way, yeah, your lifestyle, I would definitely.
So check this out. Of all time, isn't there?
You donations.
Okay, all time high. I can't see.
Honestly, that.
No, all time high like forever.
Yeah.
I wanted to see, but you can't see it. So anyway, this month she's been given this much, right? And then that's in addition to subs. So if you subscribe to her like that, you can, you know, right now you can get 20% off. You can use these emotes. You
What
can
cost me $6?
55 baht per month.
$2 a month.
Yeah, it's not much. So you know, if you want to follow her, you basically do that. And
How much do you make?
nothing. No, because I don't have like PayPal and stuff, so I'm trying to figure it out as I go.
I don't.
Because Thailand shut down PayPal. I never had a PayPal account before this.
Can't get PayPal for me?
Not right now.
Why not?
Since 2020, mid 2020, they have written PayPal Thailand will open at sometime in 2021. Let me prove it to you. Let's go up.
Yeah, I gotta PayPal.
You give it to me now.
Yeah, I'm not.
PayPal Thailand. Look at this. Oh, it's open now? Are you kidding? No, it's not open. Look at this. We look forward to welcoming new customers in Thailand soon. This has been on for freaking more than a year and a half, dude. I started looking at PayPal when things shut down here. That was April, wasn't it? March, April last year. And I mean, you call them and nothing's going on. Like they just say, oh, there is no number, there's no email, you can't forward anything anywhere. So yeah, so you get the money from subs, you get the money from donations, you can sell merchandise as well. So um, yeah, that's the one I actually wanted to show you. um, she has merchandise as well that people can buy if they want. Look at this, yeah, and she designed on more products. $25 T-shirts. If people are a fan, people want to relate to you some way or the other. They'll pay for it. So right now, she has 25,000 followers, not subs, followers. So followers, like I'm one of the followers. So I can like just watch this live. But this is basically, so you saw, right? It started like in the water, in the rain and shit, in the flood. It ends all the way till she gets home. And that is the end of the stream. And this literally happens. She picks up stuff in the middle. I think a few days ago, she bought a bag or something. So like she was like, and she was talking to the chat saying that, hey, should I buy this bag? And then, she's like, okay, I'll buy it. It was 60% off, 40% off. And then right after that, she goes to some beach and she takes her old bag, she takes her new bag, and she goes like, holy shit, this is too big. But then she takes everything from her old bag, puts it in her new bag, and that's it. She probably threw the bag or the old one, whatever. Just random shit like that going on a daily basis. This is freaking hard work, dude. You cannot have a full-time job if you want to do this. This is IRL streaming. This is in real life streaming. So like, I would basically carrying the camera phone everywhere. If I go to Dean's house, if I go meet Marshall, if I go to school, if I go, to 7-Eleven, if I'm eating Big Macs, everything basically for 7-8 hours.
Phuket nightlife. Yeah.
There is no nightlife in Phuket, you know that. But that is true too. But yeah, I've actually asked her on chat, and she obviously didn't see it. I want her to come to Phuket. It'll be really interesting. Like, we'll show her around Phuket. That would be really cool. Because I think
I think your subscribers will double if you got her on.
That is true. That is true. Yeah. There's always bring the girl. See, it
Sex
didn't go from
sells.
1,000 to 2,000 when you came in,
Sex sounds.
but
Well, I'm sure probably.
yeah. Well, somebody was late, wasn't it?
I was on time.
But yeah.
I was on time.
Should we shut the stream?
Should we?
Yeah.
I don't know. You want to talk about something else? Can I ask you about the chamber? You did.
Let's do a chamber stream proper. Like, let's give that respect, chamber.
Okay.
No, because okay. Good thing you brought that up. So I had Michelle from Sustainable Lifestyle here. Not here. She couldn't come here, but I had her on as an interview thing.
Yeah.
And that video was kind of popular because she was talking about what she was doing. And I told her at the end of the stream and a few million times in the middle of the stream that I want to connect different people and different communities and groups together to do actually something amazing. She's like cleaning beaches on a daily basis. She goes there with her dog, she figures shit out, and she just registered the company as well, Sustainable Lifestyle. I want the Chamber of Commerce to actually work with her.
I know a guy.
You know a guy?
I know a guy.
We all know a guy or girl. So that's why I told her as well that I actually want a bunch of people to show up on my stream so I can host them and everybody can discuss different things. Kind of like a unique perspective on everyone's perspective on a unique issue that Phuket is dealing with. For her, the main issue is cleanliness of beaches and trash and plastics and recycling, incinerations and stuff. So I want the Chamber of Commerce to work with her. I want the Rotary Club to work with her. And I'm trying to get everybody together.
I know another guy.
I know. So do I. I know that one too.
You got a rotary phone?
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah, everybody does. We never go to the meetings, but we have a guy. But yeah, so I think you guys will have an exciting time, like discussing stuff and figuring shit out, and maybe do a charity thing, where we get people to pay up, and then we go around spreading wealth, like.
I just wanna hang out with you on Saturday night. I'm sure I'll be spreading the wealth with all the bar tap.
Right. Like 10 baht notes or 20 baht notes or 10
I
baht
only
notes.
hope it's that cheap. For some reason, I'm thinking, there's zero behind all those figures.
Anyways, cool guys. Robert showed up, but it's okay if he was late. It's totally fine. We'll forgive him.
Well, you've been at it for an hour and a half.
I know.
We double the length of the channel.
Yeah, probably.
We double subscribers. What?
Yeah.
2,000.
I actually got one subscriber. He's a radio jockey. Has a beautiful voice, man.
Oh, you got one with a wolf man.
Yeah.
Wolf man.
Probably. I don't know what that sounds like, but yeah. So I'm planning on doing something with him. So I'm meeting him tomorrow and see. He subscribed because he's like, I want to check out your channel and figure things out with you. I'm the one who approached him, just in his defense. It's not that he approached me. Byron, I'm trying to be real here, man. You didn't approach me. I approached you. I need you. You don't need shit. So yeah, just work with a bunch of people and see what we can bring to the table. Just talk to people, figure shit out about OnlyFans and subscriptions and Twitch streamings, and I think we can all do very well. You're fine. You're fine. Anyways, bye. Say bye to our lovely guest people.
Well, it was a pleasure.
And
Flew right by. God.
I know
I
it
should watch
flies
these.
when you're having fun with shit. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and we'll keep on bringing people in on the stream. And just getting to know more of people who live in Phuket and people of Phuket.
Say that phonetically. Food. Yeah.
Phuket. So yeah, we'll keep on bringing in entertainment and documentaries and interviews and news from Phuket and Thailand and the world in general.
And evening. So Phuket. That's it.
Yeah, we'll one of these days we'll do an IRL stream with the boys. Just like a night on the town or something. They'll hate me at the end of it, but who cares?
We'll get you canceled for sure.
Yeah,
We'll
that's fine. Might as well get canceled and go on the top. Anyways,
on the top.
cool man, Rob. Thank you so much for coming.
Cheers. Thanks for having me. I learned lots.
Good.
I'm just gonna call you to do this. I think it'd be easier just to mooch it on your channel.
Done. I'm happy to be moosed up. That didn't sound right. Take care, people. Have a lovely evening, and I will see you tomorrow.
So, bye.